The people in the village said Favour was cursed. Maybe they were right. Every night, when the sun went down and darkness covered the village, 16-year-old Favour would wrap her old cloth around her shoulders and walk through the dusty paths. She would pass the food seller's stall, where the smell of fried plantain made her stomach hot with hunger. She would pass the palm wine bar, where men laughed and drank. She would pass the big house on the hill, the house that used to be her home. She never looked at that house anymore. Instead, she walked to the edge of the village, where the old graveyard stood with its rusty iron gate. The gate made a loud creaking sound when she pushed it open. The first night, that sound had scared her. Now it felt like a greeting. "Good evening," she would whisper to the graves as she walked past. It seemed like the right thing to do. Favour had not always lived in the graveyard. 3 years ago, she lived in that big house on the hill with her mother. Her mother was a kind woman who sang while she cooked and braided Favour's hair with gentle hands. Favour's father had died when she was small, but her mother's love was enough. Then her mother got married again. Chief Okonkwo was the village chief. He was a rich man with cold eyes and a smile that never looked real. His new wife looked at Favour like she was something dirty. The chief's daughter, Adana, was 1 year older than Favour, and she was cruel. When Favour's mother died suddenly one rainy season, only 6 months after the wedding, everything changed. The girl must go, Favour heard her stepfather say. His voice was as cold as rainwater. "She is not my blood, not my problem." "But where will she go?" Adana had asked. She didn't really care. She was just curious. Chief Okonkwo shrugged. "That is not my business." They threw Favour out of the house with nothing. She had only the wrapper she was wearing. Nobody in the village would help her. They were all afraid of Chief Okonkwo. He was too powerful, too dangerous. So Favour found the only place where nobody would chase her away. The graveyard, where the dead people didn't complain and didn't ask for rent money. She found a spot under a big tree, near a grave with a simple stone that said, "Mama Ngozi, beloved mother." Something about that grave felt safe. Every night, Favour would lie down beside the grave, using her wrapper as a blanket, trying not to remember her mother's warm arms or her soft bed. The first few weeks were terrible. Every sound made her jump. Every shadow made her afraid. But slowly, the fear went away. The dead people she discovered were kinder than the living. During the day, she would look for food, mangoes from the forest, cassava from the edges of farms where she could steal without being seen. Sometimes, the pastor's wife would leave bread near the church, and Favour knew it was for her, even though the woman never spoke to her. At night, she would return to her tree and Mama Ngozi's grave, and she would talk. "I miss her so much," Favour would whisper to the stone. "My mother. I wish I knew why she died so fast. One day she was fine, and the next day, her voice would break." The stone never answered. Stones don't talk. Until one night, it did. It was a night in the rainy season, exactly 3 years after her mother died. The air was cool, and Favour shivered as she sat against Mama Ngozi's grave. She had found half a loaf of bread that day and was eating it slowly to make it last. "I wonder if my mother can see me now. I wonder if she knows I'm here. I wonder if—" "She knows, my daughter." Favour's heart stopped. The voice was soft, like a woman's voice, and it came from behind her, from the grave itself. She jumped up and spun around, her heart beating so fast she thought she would die. But nobody was there, just the grave covered with grass and shadows. Who is there?" she said, her voice shaking. "Don't be afraid, child." The voice came again, gentle like a lullaby. "I have been watching you for 3 years. You are so brave, so alone." "Mama Ngozi," Favour whispered, her hand shaking as she touched the cold stone. "Yes, my dear, and I am not the only one watching."
Suddenly, the air began to shimmer and glow. Soft see-through shapes began to rise from the graves, many of them, old men and women, young people, even children. They were all glowing with a pale, ghostly light. But they didn't look scary. They looked sad and concerned. An old man in traditional wrapper floated closer. "We have seen you suffer, girl. We have seen how the living people have treated you badly." A young woman with kind eyes came forward. "And we have seen more than that. We see everything from here. Every secret, every bad thing people do." Mama Ngozi's spirit appeared fully now, a big woman with a warm smile and eyes that shone with kindness. "We know the truth about your mother's death, Favour, and we think it is time you knew too." Favour couldn't breathe. "My mother? What do you mean?" Mama Ngozi's face became dark and serious. "Your mother did not die from sickness, child. She was killed." The word hung in the cold air like smoke. "Killed?" Favour's voice was so quiet it was almost nothing. But how? Who did it?" "Your stepfather, Chief Okonkwo. He put poison in her food, slowly, for many weeks. Rat poison he bought from a traveling medicine man." "But why?" Favour cried, tears running down her face. "For her money, dear child. Your mother had plenty money from your father, money she was saving to give you when you turned 18. Chief Okonkwo found out about it after he married her. He thought if she died, the money would become his. But the law said no. The money was kept safe for you, so he drove you away, hoping you would die on the streets. Then he could take all the money." Favour fell to her knees, her whole body shaking with anger and pain. All this time, she thought her mother just got sick and died. But it was murder. Cold, wicked murder. "How can I prove this?" she asked, her voice now hard and strong. "Who will believe me?" The spirits looked at each other, and something passed between them, a silent agreement. "We will help you," Mama Ngozi said. "We will tell you things that only dead people know, secrets that will bring the truth to light."
Over the next few weeks, the spirits became Favour's teachers, her friends, her family. Every night, they would gather around her under the big tree and tell her secrets they had seen from the spirit world. They told her about the market woman who was stealing money from the women's savings group. They told her about the palm wine seller who was mixing his palm wine with water to cheat people. They showed her where the mechanic had hidden money he stole from his helper. But most important, they told her about Chief Okonkwo. "He meets with the tax collector every month," whispered the spirit of a man who used to be a trader. "Behind the palm wine bar, he keeps half of the village tax money for himself. The records are hidden in a secret place under his bed." And Adana added a young boy spirit. "She knows about your mother's murder. She heard her father telling his girlfriend about it. She has kept the secret all these years." "Girlfriend?" Favour asked. "The seamstress on the main road," Mama Ngozi said sadly.
He has been seeing her since before he married your mother. She knows everything. Favour listened carefully to every word. She remembered every detail. The spirits gave her knowledge that no living person should know. Private secrets, hidden crimes, things people said when they thought nobody was listening. And she began to make a plan. The first person she went to was the market woman, Mama Chidi, who had always been nice to her mother. Favour waited until she saw Mama Chidi leaving the market, then stepped out from the shadows. The woman gasped and held her chest. "Jesus, you scared me, child." "Sorry, Mama Chidi," Favour said quietly, "but I need to talk to you about the women's savings money." All the color left Mama Chidi's face. What are you talking about?" "I know you have been taking money from the group savings," Favour said, her voice soft but firm. "Every month for 1 year now, small amounts so nobody will notice. You use it to help your sister who is sick." Mama Chidi stepped back, her hand over her mouth. How can you know this? Nobody knows about..." "The dead know everything," Favour said simply, "and they talk to me." The woman's eyes became very big with fear. You really do talk to spirits?" "Yes," Favour said, "but I don't want to tell people your secret, Mama Chidi. You have been kind to me, but I need your help." What do you want?" "When the time comes, I need you to speak the truth about what I will tell you. I need you to stand with me. If you do this, your secret will stay buried with the dead." Mama Chidi nodded quickly, tears in her eyes. Yes, anything." One by one, Favour went to the people whose secrets the spirits had told her. The palm wine seller, the mechanic, the trader who cheated his partner, the council member who took bribes. To each one, she said the same thing: "Stand with me when I need you, and your secret will remain secret." Fear of spirits and ghosts is very strong. The girl who slept in the graveyard, the girl who talked to the dead, they all believed her. How could they not believe when she knew things that were impossible to know?
Finally, she had enough people on her side. It was time to face Chief Okonko. She chose the day of the village meeting when all the important people gathered in the town hall to discuss village matters. Chief Okonko sat in his big chair at the front like a king. Favour walked through the doors just as he was starting the meeting. The whole room became silent. Chief Okonko's face became dark with anger. "How dare you come into this hall?" he shouted. "Guards, throw this beggar out." "I would not do that if I were you," Favour said calmly, her voice carrying through the quiet room. "Not before you hear what I have to say." "I don't want to hear anything from you." "I know you killed my mother." The words fell like heavy stones. People gasped. Chief Okonko's face went white, then red with anger. "You stupid girl! How dare you say such lies? This is insult! I will have you..." "Poison," Favour said, walking forward. "Rat poison. You put it in her food for many weeks. You bought it from a traveling medicine man in the rainy season 3 years ago. You told him it was for rats in your house." Chief Okonko's mouth opened and closed like a fish. You can't possibly..." "You killed her for her money," Favour continued. "The money from my father. It was a lot of money kept safe for me until I turned 18. You thought when she died you would get it, but the law said no. So you threw me out, hoping I would die. Then you could take all the money." "This is madness," Chief Okonko shouted, but his voice was shaking. "Where is your proof? The mad talk of a beggar girl." "Proof?" Favour smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "You keep 2 record books for the village taxes. The real records are hidden under your bed in a wooden box with a false bottom. You have stolen almost 300,000 naira from this village." Sounds of shock came from the crowd. Chief Okonko's face was now the color of ash.
You meet with the tax collector, Mr. Emeka, behind the palm wine bar every month to share the stolen money. You also have a girlfriend, the seamstress on the main road. You have been seeing her since before you married my mother. Lies, Chief Okonkwo roared, but his eyes were moving around the room like a trapped animal. All lies. And your daughter Adana knows all of this. Don't you, Adana? Everyone turned to look at Adana, who was sitting frozen in her chair, her face white with fear. Tell them, Favour commanded. Tell them what you heard. Tell them what your father told his girlfriend. Adana's lips were shaking. She looked at her father, then at Favour, then at all the people watching her. I heard him that night in his room. He was laughing about it. He said she was so foolish. She never knew what was happening. Adana, shut your mouth. But it was too late. The truth was out. Search his house, someone in the crowd shouted. Check under the bed. Find those records. Someone go and call the police.
The room exploded with noise and movement. Several men grabbed Chief Okonkwo, who was fighting and cursing and threatening, but there were too many of them. Others ran to search his house. Mama Chidi stepped forward, tears running down her face. "The girl speaks the truth," she said. "I don't know how she knows, but she knows things no living person should know. Maybe the spirits really do talk to her." One by one, the others Favour had spoken to came forward to support her story. Each one was afraid their own secrets would come out, but they also felt that justice was finally being done. They found the record books exactly where Favour said they would be. The box under the bed held all the proof of Chief Okonkwo's stealing. The tax collector, Mr. Emeka, when they confronted him, broke down and confessed everything. The seamstress, when the police questioned her, admitted that Chief Okonkwo had told her about poisoning his wife. Chief Okonkwo was arrested that same day. His trial was quick. With so much evidence and so many witnesses, everyone knew he was guilty. The judge found him guilty of murder, stealing, and fraud. They sentenced him to death by hanging. Favour did not go to watch the execution. She was in the graveyard, sitting under the big tree, talking quietly with Mama Ngozi. "You have done well, my child," the spirit said warmly. "Your mother would be very proud of you." "I could not have done it without you," Favour said. "Without all of you."